Good morning, I'm Glenn, and over the next 10 minutes, I'll show why two small policy tweaks can claw back 1.36 million in margin every quarter for our SAP consulting teams. We'll look at the economy first, then zoom in on one fee rule that quietly drains cash, and finally land on an easy behavioral fix. Think of this as preventive medicine for our P&L before the next planning cycle. Here's the map. First, a quick pulse on growth, inflation, and hiring. Secondly, what that cooling pulse means for demand and capacity. Third, the fee floor that pushes clients away, and the alternative tax that does the same treasury job with far less pain. Fourth, a behavioral nudge that more than pays for itself. I'll close with two clear asks for this room. Latest numbers, GDP up 1.1% year-on-year, core inflation 3%, and easing unemployment a low 2.1% but no longer failing. That mix tells us that the economy is in the late part of the cycle. Growth is positive, but momentum is slowing. When top line momentum fades, every basis point of margin we keep becomes twice as valuable. Policy chatter and the statutory fee floor shift aggregate demand to the left. In plain English, clients delay projects because rules add friction and uncertainty. That demand shift trims national output by about 1 percentage point and takes hit off prices, but it also shrinks the pool of work we compete for. On our side of the fence, headline fees look higher after the rule, but utilization drops so sharply that the true profit per head declines. Idle consultants still draw salary, overhead, and bench costs. The moment utilization falls below 80%, each idle day costs more than the extra fee brings in. Here's the hard evidence. The minimum fee of $1,350 per day cuts demand to 14,000 consultant days while available supply jumps to 21,000. The shaded triangle is $0.9 million in deadweight loss every single quarter. Cash no one earns, no one spends it, it just disappears. Treasury wants revenue. A consumption tax at the point of sale raises the same 2.25 million as the fee floor, but with 75% less distortion. Clients pay, consultants stay busy, admin overhead falls about 40% because invoices handle the collection automatically. Second lever behavior, loss frame email. You're leaving money on the table, boosted grant uptake from 58% to 74% in a field RCT by Chen and Tan. That single sentence shifts a grant worth 0.68 million to a sofa cushion rebate with two real book revenue. Put those two levers together, swap the fee floor for the buyer tax, and send the loss frame email each billing cycle. The model shows we recover 1.36 million of margin every quarter, enough to offset the entire deadweight loss and then some. What could go wrong? We stress tested price elasticity and offshore substitution. Even in the worst case, elasticity twice our base margin still improved by 500,000 and a quarter. At the same time, the buyer tax path keeps us compliant with OECD guidelines on indirect taxes. So to us, first approve the lobbying brief to MTI to replace the fee floor with the buyer remitted tax. Second, greenlight the code, change the triggers loss frame grant prompt inside the SAP dashboard. Both moves are technically straightforward and revenue accretive within 1 quarter. Floor equals waste, tax switch is linear. Behavioral nudge turns idle grant money into book margin. Act now and our EBIT rises just as the economy cools. Delay and we fund the debt we lost ourselves. Thank you. And here is the references.